Hi, guys. I'm Holly Draper. I'm a certified aromatherapist. I'm a herbologist. I'm an energy practitioner, and I'm a kinesiologist. So I love all forms of alternative healing. I've created this webinar for you. It's a webinar about focus and concentration, which essential oils you can use for those issues and how to use them. If you watch it all the way to the end, I actually want to give you a free sample of a very powerful blend I formulated to support healthy focus and concentration issues. So I hope you find this event very informative. Let me turn on my slides and we'll get right to it. Okay, so let's start. This webinar is specifically about focus and concentration. Just a disclaimer here, I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't diagnose, treat, prescribe, or cure anything. This is for informational purposes only. And this webinar is all about focus and concentration, which essential oils to use, how to use them, and can they really help? It's a good question, isn't it? Can essential oils really help with this issue? There are certain essential oils that have been proven useful over millennia, literally thousands and thousands of years, for focusing the brain and for aiding in concentration. This is a quote by a medical doctor. When essential oils are inhaled, they not only provide exquisite fragrances, but they also have proven to be able to produce physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being of people since the beginning of time. Records dating back to 4500 BC describe the use of balsamic aromatic substances for religious rituals and medical conditions. And here's another quote. Aromatherapy is a simple and effective way to create a calm, grounded, and positive environment for both children and adults. So absolutely, in my opinion, essential oils are very, very effective for all kinds of things in the body. But of course, that's what I've studied. So of course, that's what I'm going to say. But let me show you which essential oils are going to be most beneficial for the focus and concentration. And then I will show you how to use them. And then I will also show you how to choose higher grade essential oils because there's so many companies out there on the market. It's kind of hard. So I'm going to present you with all those things in this webinar. The first essential oil we have to mention when it comes to focus and concentration is a lovely oil called Vetiver. Now, Vetiver in India and Sri Lanka is known as the oil of tranquility. It's a very, very calming, it's a grounding and a balancing oil. Now, Vetiver oil has strong earth energy. Now, and it's very, very grounding. It's a nourishing, all earth energy essential oils bring energy from the earth, which is grounding and calming and nourishing. And it's kind of the energy of what you would think Mother Nature, a perfect mother, would give us unconditional love and support and nurturing. That is the energy that strong earth energy oils like Vetiver bring to us. So it's very calming. It's an accepting, like I mentioned, unconditional love. It kind of brings that energy to the person who uses this oil. It also brings energy of support. It makes us feel loved, comforted, and calm. And let me mention one more thing. The oil Vetiver, if you notice, on the first picture I showed you, it was the roots of that grass. So Vetiver is obviously a grass that grows. Here's a picture of the tops of the grass. But the essential oil of Vetiver is actually steam distilled from the roots of this grass. So it can bring us earth energy very strongly because it actually, the part of the plant that we use for the oil actually grows in the earth. And that's why it's such a strong earth energy oil and can bring us all of these things. So it's particularly good for stress and stressful situations. And when you feel stressed out, it's great to use in a massage or in a bath. You can use it in lots of different ways. It also really helps with anxious feelings, helps with worry, deep sadness, and inability to sleep. It can calm and support and bring good earth energy that is beneficial in all of these situations. Vetiver is also well known over centuries that it is a really awesome wound healer. So you can use this oil in lots of different ways. It's a great oil to help ease pain and joint pain, muscular aches and pains, all that kind of stuff it works on. Stiffness in the body. Because it comes from the roots of this grass, like I mentioned, it's representative of Mother Nature's purest love, and it's very, very nurturing, like I mentioned, calming, grounding, supportive. It gives all that energy when we use it. It also is an oil that can help our body release low-frequency emotional issues like trauma, like sadness, deep sadness, like anxiety and stress. It can actually help our body release those emotions. This is a study that was done on essential oils to help with focus and concentration. It's a doctor named Dr. Terry Friedman. He studied children between the ages of 6 to 14 years old. He looked at the effects of using essential oils in helping their inattention, impulsivity, hyperactivity, and inability to concentrate, that should say, sorry, and be able to, and that he tracked their ability to concentrate and to be able to focus on tasks. So he used essential oils in this study, and essential oils he used include vetiver oil and cedar wood oil. The children were asked to inhale the aroma of the essential oil 3 times a day, and the children were assessed over a 30-day period. The equipment used in testing the subjects was a real-time forgive me, I don't even know that word, I can't say it. The EEG is what I'm familiar with. Forgive me. If you can say it, good for you. The EEG is what measures electrical impulses in the brain by placing small sensors on the subject's scalp to detect the electrical impulses moving to the brain, giving instant feedback, and they measured only beta and theta waves in this study. The results of the study show a significant improvement of 32% for those subjects using vetiver oil, and a similar improvement was seen in subjects using the cedar wood oil in their ability to focus and concentrate on tasks. The doctor who performed this study also put this little quote in the end of his study. In addition, I received several letters from parents of the children in the study stating that their behavior at home had improved for the better. In several cases, they also stated that school educators informed them that their performance was observed to improve in the classroom. The report cards in some of the subjects had reflected this improvement as well. And since these results were not included in the design of the study, they will not be included in the study, but only mentioned as an unexpected improvement in the children. And I thought that was awesome. So vetiver was used in this study. Like I mentioned, vetiver is a really, really great oil to help this very issue. The second oil that was mentioned in this study is cedarwood oil. And let me tell you just a little bit more about cedarwood oil. It's a really awesome, very ancient aromatic wood. So cedarwood oil is distilled from the bark of the cedarwood tree. And cedarwood symbolizes abundance, fertility, spiritual strength. The name cedrus originates from the Arabic word kedron, meaning power. And so this oil coming to us from a strong, tall cedarwood tree, the oil actually imparts the strength of the trees, and it's very strengthening, and it's a very powerful, very power-imparting oil. The cedars of Lebanon, which originally where cedarwood kind of came from, were vast forests of legend used extensively by the ancient Egyptians for temples, buildings, instruments, coffins, and boats. It was the most highly prized wood and building wood in ancient history. It was a very fragrant wood. You guys know cedarwood oil is very fragrant. Think of a cedarwood box or cedar wood is a very, very fragrant. So the oil is very fragrant also. It was a building made of cedar wood would always have a faint smell of cedar. Wouldn't that be lovely? So it was ideal for building buildings because it doesn't rot or deteriorate. And the cedars of Lebanon were almost completely wiped out by King Solomon, mentioned in the Bible, and he built his temples and used the wood extensively to build all kinds of major buildings. And the cedarwood oil and the wood also is insect repellent. It's an insect repelling, so it repels insects and bugs, and so it's a perfect building material because it also kept out the bugs. Traditionally, the oil has been used for bronchial and urinary tract infections. It boosts and supports healthy immune function. So you can see this oil is beneficial in lots of ways. It also helps promote clear thinking. No wonder King Solomon wanted it for his temple, right? It promotes clear thinking. It enhances awareness, beneficial for effective prayer and meditation. And in fact, cedar wood is used extensively as an incense still today, which is a lot of religions use incense in their religious ceremonies. It improves focus and concentration. It aids and promotes healthy brain function, cedar wood oil does. The next essential oil I'd like you to know about is frankincense oil, which has literally been around forever, right? They've used it in ancient Egypt. They used it in many, many, many ancient cultures have used frankincense. So frankincense is a very strong, masculine, heavenly energy. So when you breathe in frankincense, not that it smells like a musky or like a masculine, I don't want to give you that impression, but when you breathe it in, it gives you the energy of a strong, masculine, heavenly energy. Frankincense oil has been known, historically in traditional medicines and for millennia to assist the brain. And so it promotes healthy brain function. It also can be useful with when the body shakes or with tremors. It's also good and supportive for brain injuries because it's one of the best essential oils for the brain. So it's also good for brain injuries. This is a cross-section of your brain. If you cut your brain right in half, this is a diagram of that half part of your brain, if you will. We call this the limbic system. This is the core part of your brain. Now, if you notice this little green bulb here, the green bulb on the far left side that you see, it's called your olfactory bulb. This is the way that we register the scent of smell. Highly aromatic scented molecules come in through our nasal cavity, hit our olfactory receptor cells, send chemical messengers up to this olfactory bulb, which then pulls it right into the core part of your brain. The core part of your brain, the limbic system, is where we process emotions, where all of our emotional body comes from there. Our emotional reaction to things, sometimes even storing emotional memory and thoughts and feelings, all is in the limbic system. So when using aroma or aromatherapy to help release, to help benefit the brain because it goes right to the brain, but also to help release emotional issues, to help the body release emotional stuff is very, very effective and works very, very well. In fact, aromatherapy is one of the best ways to do emotional release in the body. There's lots of things that frankincense oil does. One of the things is it's amazing for the lungs. It just is very supportive and good for the lungs. It's great in any kind of breathing type issue and respiratory type issue. Frankincense oil is also great for the skin. It's a super anti-aging oil, and so it's been used for literally millennia. Women would put it on their faces and put it in creams and such and put it on their faces for its anti-aging benefits. It's also useful in pretty much any skin condition because frankincense is very, very good for the skin. It also is useful in scars. It also boosts and supports feelings, especially of deep sadness. It can help lighten those up and help, like I mentioned, when you breathe in those molecules, it actually can help release low frequency emotions. So it actually really helps, and it's a very lightening oil for deep sadness. It's very calming, the frankincense oil, so it calms anxious feelings. It's also beneficial for fears and worry. It's emotionally, just like I mentioned, a very uplifting, supportive, good for all emotional states, frankincense oil. It's a very ultra balancing oil in that it just balances out all kinds of things from physical and emotional and spiritual and energetic. It's just a very balancing oil. The next thing I want to mention is all citrus oils, be it tangerine, grapefruit, lemon, lime, bergamot, orange, or red mandarin, all citrus oils are very uplifting. Okay, so you can really use any just for a little, pep in your step, a little uplift. If you're ever feeling down, just breathe in some citrus oils or diffuse them or inhale them. It's very uplifting. There's one in particular that I want to mention when we're talking about focus and concentration, and that is red mandarin oil. One of my very favorite scents in all of aromatherapy. I just absolutely love the smell of red mandarin oil. So red mandarin is very refreshing. It's very sweet. Almost is so sweet it makes your mouth water when you smell it because it just smells like almost candy sweet. So it's very mouth-watering. It's a light, of course, citrusy smell. But like I mentioned, all citrus fruits are uplifting, so it's just very uplifting. It makes you feel good when you breathe it in. It's a very happy oil, like orange and tangerine. All you also think the color orange, tangerine, if you will, and mandarin even is kind of a color. But even the color orange makes you happy. But the smell of these oils, these citrus oils, is just very happy, uplifting. Now, mandarin oil has a special ability that I want to mention here. Its special ability is to heal and comfort your emotional inner child. So all of us have an inner child, no matter what age we are. When we breathe in mandarin oil, it actually targets our inner child and helps release low-frequency emotions from our inner child. So it's very, very emotionally releasing and really, really good for the emotions. So it aids the body to release all these negative emotions. It can help release anxious feelings. It can help also with people who have trouble sleeping because it's a calming oil, because of the emotional calming that it can bring. So it can also, it's a great oil to use to soothe any kind of restlessness. It's a calming, soothing oil. The next oil I want to mention is, well, there's two here. You can see neroli essential oil and petitgrain essential oil. Now, why do I have them on one slide, you might ask? It's because both neroli oil and petitgrain oil come from the very same tree, which is the bitter orange tree. Both of them grow on the very same tree. Just neroli is the blossom, or the top picture you see on your screen here. So neroli is the blossom of the bitter orange, and petitgrain is the foliage and the unripened fruit of the bitter orange tree, the bottom picture. So they both come from the same tree, just different parts of the tree are used. So both of these oils contain similar properties. However, they are not exactly the same. Neroli oil is renowned for its calming properties. It's an ultra calming oil, even though it's kind of a bitter floral scent, which is just such a beautiful, it's so hard to describe it. It's kind of a bitter, like a orange flowery, but bitter kind of smell. But even though it has slightly bitter aroma, it's a very, very soothing, calming oil. It's also an oil that contains a very, very high frequency. So it helps pull your body from being in low frequency states up to being in higher frequency states. So it's very lifting oil, and it raises the vibration of your entire body by breathing in this beautiful neroli oil. Now, historically, neroli has been used to pull the brain out of shock states, and so it's very, very calming and grounding and soothing for the brain. It's been used for all kinds of nervous conditions. Anyone you can name, neroli can be beneficial for. It's uplifting, it's balancing. Holmes actually describes neroli as promoting clarity, sensitivity, and enhances the lightness of being. Doesn't that sound awesome? If you've never smelled neroli oil, it's something really, really special. Now, petitgrain oil, again, comes from the same exact tree, just different parts of the tree are used. Has very similar properties to neroli. Isn't quite everything neroli is, but it is very similar in lots of ways, in that it's balancing, it's soothing and calming properties, all kind of the same. You can use petitgrain oil with neroli. It's really cool when you combine the two because they both come from the same plant. When you combine them, they create a very impressive synergistic effect. And so I love to use these two oils together. Now, I've gone over some single oils, which are very beneficial. You can use any of the single oils you want, any combination that you choose to, combine yourself. Or what I've done is I've actually created a blend of these oils and other beneficial essential oils that is very, very powerful. The blend I call Relax. It's my Relax blend. Now, the Relax blend is formulated for its powerful synergistic effects. It contains vetiver oil, frankincense oil, red mandarin oil, ylang-ylang oil, neroli oil, petitgrain oil, sweet orange oil, blood orange oil, and marjoram. So you can see it's a great synergy of these really powerful, awesome oils. Now, with essential oils, it is well known that blends are more powerful than single oils. When you combine single oils into a blend, you create more of a synergy. It has a higher frequency, if you will, and they're more powerful. And so this blend contains all the oils we talked about and more. So it's a very powerful blend, and it has all the effects of all the single oils in it, just higher synergies and a more powerful effect. So this blend was specifically formulated to enhance concentration and aid the ability for the brain to focus. Just so for those people who need a little extra help now and then, that's what this blend is formulated for. So it supports healthy brain function. It's a very grounding, calming blend, and some people actually use this blend at night to get better sleep. It doesn't work for everybody. I have a whole nother class on that. You can check out some other time, but it does help some people actually sleep better. So we want to send you a free sample of this powerful blend, our Relax blend, for you to try. So if you want one, we're almost done with this webinar. Just follow the instructions at the end and we will ship out your free sample. We'll ship it right out to you. Okay, so let's talk about application. Once we understand what essential oils to use, now we think, well, how do I use them, right? So let me talk about the best application to use these essential oils if you're going to use them to help support focus and healthy concentration. So application of essential oils for focus and concentration, the number one application, the best thing that you want to do is you want to inhale the oil. If you've ever worked with essential oils before, you know they're highly aromatic. They smell, and they smell pretty strong. And so just even holding the bottle underneath your nose and breathing it out of, so you can smell it and breathe it in, that is awesome for this. So inhalation is the number one and best application. You can, like I mentioned, you can open the lid of the bottle and inhale it directly out of the bottle. My favorite method of application, because I believe that you get more of the aromatic molecules going into your body. So my favorite application is to drop 2 drops of the oil or the blend, whichever one you choose. Drop 2 drops onto a cotton ball and then hold that scented cotton ball underneath your nose and inhale it deeply for 2 to 10 minutes or more. As long as you want to. I mean, it's completely natural. It's not going to hurt you in any way. And so just breathing that in is very, very beneficial. You can also put that scented cotton ball in an empty essential oil bottle. I actually prefer the small ones, the 5 milliliter bottles, so they're smaller. And I prefer to stick a scented cotton ball into an empty 5 ml essential oil bottle. And then you can, your children can take that aromatic bottle. It's almost like making a little personal diffuser. They can take with them to school. And when they start feeling scattered or, kind of just losing control, they can pull out that little scented bottle and just breathe in the aroma, breathe in those lovely aromatic molecules of the essential oil. And it's pretty effective. And you can also diffuse any of the essential oils that we talked about, if you have a diffuser. So again, the reason why the application is inhalation, that's the one we want to do, is if you notice here, I showed you that picture before of the core part of the brain, the limbic system. Now this is a focus on your olfactory bulb and your olfactory receptor cells that grow like roots, you can kind of see, that go down into your nasal cavity. So by inhaling the essential oil, you get the best benefit to the brain and for the emotional center. And so I can't stress that enough. Inhalation is the best. Yeah, okay. So you can also apply these essential oils, topical application, but it's not going to be as effective as inhalation, okay? So you want to breathe them in. However, you can apply them topically. You can dilute the essential oils with a carrier oil. You can really use any carrier oil that you want to. Just choose whichever one you like the best. My personal favorite carrier oil is Great Organic, a lovely, lovely organic grapeseed oil. That's my favorite one. You can apply the diluted oil to the soles of the feet. You can apply the diluted oil to the back of the neck and or temples area. And you can also apply it to the pulse points, which are on the wrist and on the neck, the throat, where you would take a person's pulse. You can apply it to any of those areas. However, the best mode of application, again, is going to be inhalation. Put 2 drops on a cotton ball, hold it underneath your nose and breathe it in, and you should see some beneficial effects. You want to make sure, though, if you are going to apply it topically, you want to make absolutely sure that all essential oils, you want to keep them away from the eye area, because you never, ever, ever put essential oils in your eyes. That's actually quite damaging. So keep them away from the eye area. Let's talk just really quickly about the quality of essential oils, because yes, you can go and buy essential oils just about anywhere nowadays, which is a good thing. However, not all essential oils are the same quality. So I'm just going to go over really quick how you can tell better essential oils from not so good essential oils, and then you'll have that information. It's very, very empowering to know this information. When it comes to essential oils, they are not all the same. There is a huge difference of grades of essential oils, from very, very poor quality, almost unrecognizable scent, all the way up to really, really good, high quality oils. The sad thing is that most essential oils on the market are right in the middle, the good, mediocre, and poor. And so it's very, very difficult to get really, really high grade essential oils. If you want the very best essential oils, you want to look for organic oils. And let me explain why this is so important. So is organic produce actually healthier for our bodies than non-organic produce? Yes, it is. If I go to a health food store and want the most nutritious salad, so I make a salad out of this organic produce, it actually contains more vitamins, more minerals, more antioxidants, more of the healing plant constituents, which are called phytochemicals. These are natural chemicals that naturally occur in plants. There are more of these phytochemicals in organic produce than in non-organic produce, okay? So let me ask you, if I take this organic produce then and distill it down into an essential oil, is the essential oil also going to contain more of these healing phytochemicals? Think about that for a minute. If I made an oil out of this organic produce, would it then contain more of those phytochemicals? Yes, it would. Understand the chemicals in an essential oil are 70 to 100 times more concentrated than they were in the plant. That's why with essential oils, we are dealing with such concentrated natural phytochemicals. That's a good and a bad thing because they're so concentrated. That's why with aromatherapy, we only use drops. And we do need to understand there are safety issues. There are age-appropriate issues with aromatherapy and essential oils. But just understand we're dealing with very, very concentrated chemicals when we are talking about aromatherapy. Eating organic food is important. In fact, I'm going to share in just a minute a study that shows how important eating organic food is. Using organic herbs is important because tinctures from herbs and dried herbs, the chemicals in those herbal products are about 10 times more concentrated than organic food, or it is in the plant, right? But essential oils are 100 times, the chemicals in essential oils are 100 times more concentrated than they are in the plant. And so when it comes to essential oils, it is absolutely imperative that you only use organic essential oils. So let me show this to you on a graph, okay? So here's a non-organic oil versus an organic oil, and let me show you the phytochemicals in an organic oil. There are more of the good, healing, healthy constituents in an organic oil versus a non-organic oil. But that's not the only difference. Non-organic produce is sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, larvicides, chemical fertilizers, and sewage sludge. All of those chemicals, the farmers don't want to get anywhere near their own skin. They're sprayed on the plants. Once they're sprayed on the plants, it's impossible to remove them. They're in there. And those chemicals do come through the distillation process and end up also in your essential oil. There's a quote by Robert Tisserand, a famous English aromatherapist, and he says, there are over 400 chemical biocides, which are pesticides or herbicides, that might be used on aromatic plants, and many of these do carry over during the steam distillation process. The products of cold-pressed citrus oils are even more likely to retain any biocides. So those toxic chemicals also can be concentrated up to 100 times, just like our lovely healing phytochemicals. So now you can really see the difference between an organic oil, which is healthier for our bodies, and a cleaner oil versus a non-organic oil, which you really take the risk of actually toxifying the body when you use non-organic oils. But it's not just me trying to tell you this. This is a quote by Dr. Jean Valnet, a French medical doctor and world-renowned aromatherapist, and he says, "You must obtain an organic certification for citrus oils if they are to be used internally at all." This is Shirley Price. She's an English aromatherapist, and she says, "Organic plants are grown without the use of chemicals. When taking oils internally, it's important to use only those of certified organic quality." And this is Dr. Schnellbelt, a German aromatherapist, and he says, "Lemon oil is non-toxic provided it's organic or free of pesticides. It's very important to use only organic oil, as all citrus oils are cold-pressed, and if there are pesticides on the peel, they will directly flow into the essential oil. It is therefore crucial that lemon oil and all other citrus oils, especially when used for therapeutic purposes, comes from organic cultivation." So you can see organic is a really big deal when it comes to essential oils. Organic oils are always higher quality than non-organic oils. Now, here's the thing you have to know. This is your hot tip of the day. How do you tell if your bottle of essential oil is organic or not? Believe it or not, 90% of the people we talk to have no idea how to tell if their oils are organic or not. And that's why 90% of the people are using non-organic oils. So this is how you tell a bottle of organic oil. You want to look right on the label of every bottle, word organic. If the words organic or wildcrafted are not written right on the label, then what you have is a non-organic essential oil. If with organic essential oils, they cost more. They cost a lot more than the non-organic version, and they're more difficult to obtain. So if a company is really going to the expense and the effort to truly have organic oils, they are not going to forget to put it on the label. That's the best selling point of the whole oil. So knowing what I know about essential oils, and I have been studying them for over 14 years now, use a higher quality organic oil and you're going to get way better results in the body. I want to present to you our Purify Skin Therapy essential oil line. These oils are very, very potent. They are very powerful. And we believe with just one smell, you will see the difference. We want you to compare the Purify Skin Therapy essential oils to any other essential oil line out there. We will line them up head to head. So smell our lemon and then smell any other lemon out there, and we believe you will see the difference. The other thing I want to cover before I let you go is other things you can do to help support focus and concentration issues if you're having them. One of the most important things you can do is avoid toxins. There have been many studies done linking exposure to environmental chemicals, pesticides, and herbicides used on non-organic fruits and vegetables and insecticides for home use to the inability to focus and concentrate in children. A new study in the journal Environmental International shows that commonly used insecticides widely used on non-organic produce, known as pyrethroid insecticides, may head straight to our kids' brains and interfere with their ability to learn and even concentrate. In this study, French scientists tested certain insecticides in the urine of 290 young children and measured their intellectual abilities. There was a direct correlation, and kids with the highest levels of insecticides in their urine had the worst verbal and memory skills. So it is directly correlated. The findings in this study follow another study earlier in 2015 that showed a link between insecticides exposure and inability to concentrate and focus in children ages 5 to 15. If the ability to focus and concentrate is an issue for you, you may want to avoid these toxic chemicals that may be perpetuating your problem. You can avoid the use and accidental ingestion of these toxic insecticides by buying organic vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, dairy, and meats. If you are buying insecticides for home use to keep pesky bugs away, you can typically identify a pyrethroid insecticide if you see cypermethrin. Forgive me, I'm not super familiar with these names. Permethrin, deltamethrin, bifenthrin, or you can guess on that one, on the label, and avoid the use of these toxic insecticides around or near your home. There are plenty of safer organic insecticides on the market. Make your home unfriendly to insects by keeping it clean. Take out the trash frequently. Don't leave dirty dishes in your sink, and keep your kitchen and bathrooms as dry as possible. So that's automatically going to help your problem, if you have that problem, with no toxins. But so avoiding toxins, that is just another reason that if you are going to use essential oils to maximize your focus and concentration, you should only use organic essential oils. Organically grown produce is not sprayed with toxic pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, etc. Organically grown produce is safer, and organically grown produce produces organic essential oils that are cleaner and safer for you and your children too. And I hope you really saw that after what I explained to you. So other things to consider with focus and concentration: nutrition, exercise, creating routines, sleep, and electronics-free time. Let me just cover really quick nutrition. Eating good foods is key when it comes to our ability to focus and concentrate. What we put in our bodies, we get out. So healthy brain function is supported by eating whole foods that nourish and fuel our bodies and provide critical nutrients we need to support a healthy body. Eat a diet of organically grown foods, fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds, and meats, like I mentioned before. Keep consumption of simple sugars. This is especially effective if focus and concentration are your issues. Keep consumption of simple sugars, simple carbohydrates, and caffeine at a bare minimum. Avoid high fructose corn syrup, artificial food colorings, and artificial preservatives if at all possible. Now, I'd love to send all this information to you. So as long as you sign up on our email list, I actually want to send all this information to you so you don't have to write it all down. I'd love to send you a couple emails with lots of more information in them. Let me talk just a little about exercise. Yoga, meditation, or regular physical exercise increases ability to focus during lengthy lectures. There's a distinct feeling of calm and clarity after a burst of physical exertion. Even 10 minutes a day can make a difference, and daily physical exercise, when the heart rate is elevated, can more fully help a child relax, focus, and remain peaceful. So creating routines, I have a whole little article written about that. It is so important, especially with children, that they have routines which are a regular bedtime every night, and they really get used to going to bed at the same time every night. It's very, very helpful for the mind and the body to be healthy. And so I have a whole article written on that. Proper sleep, of course, where the mind can actually, go into those beta and theta waves and get REM sleep, which is very healthy and health promoting. And then having electronics free time. According to the most recent guidelines of the American Academy of Pediatrics, children ages 6 years old and up should limit their daily entertainment screen time to 2 hours a day. So make sure your child is getting enough electronics free time to develop creativity, to investigate the world around them, to have time to freely play and to strengthen their spirit. So all of these things are going to be beneficial if you're working with focus and concentration issues. I've actually made this list. It's the top 10 ways to improve focus and concentration. My number one issue is having and using high-quality organic essential oils to enhance grounding and the ability to focus and concentrate. Then I cover the eating, the exercise, the keep toxins out of your life, the exercise, and different things. I want to, again, send this all to you in an email, so make sure you're on my email list. So now is the time to get out a pencil and a paper and write this down, because we do want to send you a free sample of our very powerful Relax blend for you to try. So use coupon code ATTENTION2015. That's the coupon code you're going to use, and we're going to ship you out a free sample of our Relax blend. Again, write this down. The coupon code is ATTENTION with no spaces 2015, ATTENTION 2015. Now, What we're going to send you is a sample of this blend. It's roughly about 20 drops. So if you use 2 drops on a cotton ball and hold it underneath your nose, and again, I didn't mention this, but on that cotton ball, you can use that same cotton ball for up to 24 hours. So you really can use 2 drops a day and just on a cotton ball, and then you just breathe that in as often as you need it. So we roughly want to send you about 10 uses. If you use 2 drops per use, that's about 10 uses, or that equates to about 10 days of use. You will be able to tell if this essential oil blend is going to work for you or not. And then if it's going to work for you, we'll also send you a little special deal if you want to actually buy a bottle of this. But don't worry about that now. We want to send you a free sample. So remember, the coupon code is Attention2015. And this we encourage you to follow the directions that are going to pop up as soon as this webinar is done to get your free sample. This presentation was brought to you by Purify Skin Therapy. In 14 years of studying aromatherapy, I've never experienced essential oils that are as good as what Purify Skin Therapy has. So please check them out. And thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I really hope it was beneficial for you. Have a great day.